All right. TC Spiritual Shepherd. See, we messed up, y'all. TC Spiritual Shepherd. Welcome back, guys. We are getting into the AM ritual, the midday ritualistic discipline, and the PM ritualistic discipline. In this, we are going to go over a few different intricacies. You guys have me for 30 minutes to an hour. I'm sending this back to school. So if you guys have any questions or you can't make it or whatever, it's here for you for eternity. Okay. So first and foremost, invest in eternity, invest in immortality, invest long-term investment. I know that's not the topic that we're talking about today, but it's just a very big thing. A lot of people are very narrow-minded, short frame-minded, short-minded, so many different types of things where you could take that same anxious energy, that same jealous energy, and you can look beyond it, look beyond the jealousy and the envy and the greed and the instant gratification, the instantaneous gratification. That's what I like. Instantaneous, like it's not even instant anymore. It's instantaneous. Like I want it now. So look beyond that and see that you already have. Now let's get into today's thing. I have my questions here, so on my phone. So if anybody cues in on Q&A, then I'll be able to see it. I'm also tracking my trades. So if I zone out for a minute, don't mind. We're getting into this right now, guys. So don't chime out. It's going to be one of the greatest things that you've listened to. I'm literally giving you guys everything too. That's a big thing. And then also I have any types of quotes or anything for you guys here. Okay, so let's start off with the quote. Your time is limited. Do not waste it living someone else's life. This was quoted by Steve Jobs, where you can pretty much thank him for, all of the technological devices that you have been ingrained and channeled into. What's up, Greg? Hope you're doing well, brother. We have a good man, I can't wait to chop it up with you. But ultimately, your time is limited. Do not waste it living someone else's life. This is Steve Jobs, okay? Now we're going to move into one more. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is actually the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you are already successful. Okay, this is Albert Schweitzer. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs. Okay, if you have any questions, ask me, bro. Ask me. So here's one big thing. We have the AM ritualistic discipline, the midday ritualistic discipline, and the PM ritualistic discipline. I'll give them about 10 minutes each. They're very in depth. I'm going to share my screen with you. This is all the stuff that I do, but I'm going a little bit more in depth. Let's get into it. Share screen. How are you doing, Greg? You can always type. If you don't have audio, you can always type, or you can feel free to type into the chat or use your voice, brother. Your voice is the most powerful thing. All right. So yeah, don't be afraid to chime in either, bro. Good. Awesome, brother. All right. I'm going to put the chat right here. So if you have any questions, let me know. I also have chats coming in through here. So on the side. So if anything comes in now, first and foremost, guys, this is my shared screen. This is something that I've built. This is a system or an automation that I've built. It's not, don't let my words like discourage you from creating something like this. This took like 20 minutes. So I did study a lot of other people's AM rituals. Okay. So Tony Robbins, Jay Shetty. I've listened to a lot of spiritual people. So there's the business aspect where people are like, they're in that biohacking thing, but they still don't do breathwork meditation and ice baths as much. They don't do the Wim Hof method like you should necessarily. I'm not talking these people down at all. We all are on our own journey. I was there at one point. My thing on this is that I decided to listen to like 15, maybe actually like 50, but I started listening to like 15 different types of people who did AM rituals. And what I did was I did the least common multiple. The least common multiple, when the multiple is how many of these people are doing all the same things. Okay. And then how many of these people are doing different things? And are these different things is something that I could also do? So what I did was I realized patterns. I'm a pattern recognizer. I love pattern recognition, which is zoned into this AM ritualistic discipline. Now, stay tuned with me, guys, because this is something that most people don't get into. Now, this is called Notion. You could see this up here, this little N up here. It says Notion. It says view of my AM ritualistic discipline. And I have this on repeat. So every day, this comes in at 4:32 a.m., okay? And I wake up at 3:33. Now, I did a new one for you guys, so you guys have any type of thing that you could see. And this is 3:33 arise. Did I do this today? Yes, okay? Now, the first thing that I do, obviously, the sun is not up at 3:33, so I skip this one, okay? Power pose. Power pose is like something like this, where you're just like, yes, like it's, you know, like when you see that thing on Pinterest where that person's on top of the mountain, they're just like, yes, I did it. That's a power pose. And in the power pose, it is actually ingraining subconsciously that you are winning, or that you are successful, or that you are happy, or all of the above, which we're all of the above. So power pose, did I do it? Yes, I did. So, and yes, I can. Yes, I did. So then you get into that point. I also skip the saltwater cleanse until a little bit later when I'm doing my supplements. The first thing that I do when I arise, so I'll get up out of bed. I'm not going to, tune this out or whatever, but I get up out of bed. I have my clothes set up. See, some of these things are from the PM ritual, which we're going to get into, that set you up for your AM ritual. That's also a big thing that I've learned from a lot of these very hyperactive, hyperproductive entrepreneurs and spiritualists. Like you can even take Sat Guru, for example, wakes up at 3:30 every AM. So you could see the intercorrelation between some people are leaning more towards the yoga aspect, which is calisthenics, which is stretching, which is breath work, which is meditation. It's all the same stuff. And then you could even take the entrepreneurial aspects where they're like, I work out, so then it gives me energy, so then I can make money, so then I can build my life, so I can have a family, whatever people's belief systems and excuses are that they justify for themselves to make what they make. See, and we need to stop thinking that things are just negative consequential. Everything is consequential, meaning that it's like cause and effect. It doesn't have to be negative cause, negative effect, or positive cause, positive effect. It can just be cause and effect. And it's how you perceive the cause and how you perceive the effect of the cause. That's a big thing too. So I arise in the AM, okay? And then I immediately put on my earbuds or my AirPods. And that generally what I will listen to, or earbuds, whatever you want to do, or headphones. And you can listen to frequency music. So I actually listen to one big thing. This is a big thing that I do. I've recorded these already. See, a bunch of this stuff is already done. So you might have some homework to do, but I don't like to listen to other people's affirmations for me. I would rather, learn affirmations, write my own affirmations, write my own suggestions, write my own confirmations, write my own contemplations, write all those different types of things. And you do them at different times of the day for different reasons. Well, they're all for the same reason, but you get the point. Now, with this is the cultivation. I will put, so there's 7 chakras. Okay. So this is how I do my AM ritual when I'm listening to affirmations, which is a very important part. And I record 7 different short videos, not shorts, or not long-term videos, which you can do, but I do short videos and I put them in my own YouTube private playlist. And every morning it's called AM Ritualistic Discipline. So I have breath work in there. I have meditations. I have motivational speakers. I have, my affirmations, which I spoke, which I've created. So that's what I'm getting to. I'm not saying that don't praise or anything. It's not like that. It's more like, hey, my biggest thing is don't listen to other people's affirmations. That's for them. Listen to your affirmations, but you have to write your own affirmations, speak your own affirmations, create your own video affirmations, upload them on YouTube, put it in a private playlist. It's a little bit of homework, but once you get to that point, then you can also add background music, which I add hertz frequency, solfeggio frequency, binaural beats into the background of my I am affirmations. Okay. So let's go, for instance, I actually start at the crown, I go down to the root, and then I go back from the root back up to the crown, which this is called an auric cleanse. This is called an aura cleanse. Now, your body's a rainbow light body, so we're not going to get into all that. If you guys are interested in that, go on to my course, the Jedi Pillars course, which Greg actually already has. So hope he's enjoying that. Now, next thing about this as well is I will listen. So that's 7 to 14 videos. So I'll listen to, and then you can also get into, here's a big aspect. I got to go to Pinterest. See, I knew I was going to explain this. I was going to get into a very big in-depth video, which maybe I'll put this on my course as well. So we'll go to Pinterest. You can see all of my different things on here about all the stuff that I listen to. Okay, so chakras, words, I am, I know. Okay, it'll pop up. This is a good one too. I'm going to actually record this one right here. So I am guided, I honor, I trust, I express, I love. See, this is a perfect, I value, I am enough, I receive, I embrace, I forgive, I am abundant, I'm fully grounded. So that's kind of like what it is. But generally for each minute or each, like each minute of it, I'll be listening to 963 hertz frequency. And then I'll be saying, my inner wisdom guides me. I don't ever say I am, because I am is root chakra. That's what it's governed by, which we'll get to. So I always say my inner wisdom guides me. That's a way better way of saying it than just saying I am this. Okay. I am is referring to the body, and I am is referring to the root chakra. It's referring to the groundedness, to the sacredness of the groundedness right here. See, but there's still all I ams. There's still all I ams. I know it's up on here. We'll find it. Chakras and words. Right here. This is perfect. I know, I see, I speak, I love, I trust, I feel, I am. See? So that governs those chakras. That's what governs it. Okay. Then you can also go into solfeggio frequencies, which is 963 hertz, 852 hertz, 741, 693 or 639, 471. Then you can go into 258. Yeah, no, 285. Then you can go into 528. You guys get the point. The whole thing is it's solfeggio frequencies and it's divine. So the whole thing about this is I know, I see, I speak. So what I will do in my affirmations, I know we're still staying on the hertz frequencies, solfeggio frequencies, and binaural beats. I will create specific types of things that will put me in the because I'm in subconscious theta states at that time. So this is the programming time. This is why I'm staying very stickler about this right now, because this is the most important time, because this is happening every day. Every time you fall asleep and arise, if you set yourself up for success, this will create your life. This is the part that creates your life. So what I will do is I'll write 963 hertz, or I'll listen to 963 hertz in the background. And then I'll say, I know myself. I know I'm divine. I know I am love. I know I'm beyond the physical world. I know my truth with confidence. Da, da, da. Then I'll go to 852 hertz. I see beyond the physical world. I have great third eye abilities. I have great perception. I have great perspective. I have. Okay, not I am, but I have. It's a little bit greater than I am. And I'm very stickler about this because it's something very profound that a lot of people in the spiritual community have not done yet. And I know that once it's realized by the collective Christ consciousness, then that's when it's going to be realized. Then there's the point of, I love myself. I love my family. I love my friends. I love my kids. I love my surroundings. I love my experiences. I love, okay. Then you get into, I trust myself. I trust others. I trust my intuition. You get the point. I feel, okay. So now this is getting into the Svadhisthana, or the second chakra, the sacral chakra, where the sacral plexus is, where the sacred secretion is emitting. So that's a big thing, is I feel my emotions and sensuality. I feel confident. You get the point. Okay. Then there's I am. I am love. I am secure. I am grounded. I have groundation. I have foundation. I have upheaval. I have up leveling abilities. All this type. I am. Okay. That is the only thing that I really have to just hone in on. Okay. So now we're going to go right back and we accomplish that every day. So I record those into videos, put them into our private playlist. Now we're going to move on. So we did affirmations too. Those are together. Then I'm on my way driving to the gym because I wake up at 3:33 to go to the gym. I'm programming my mind on the way. Then I go, all right, hit cardio. Boom. So I do 15 minutes of hit cardio, which you guys can see on my course as well, and regular cardio. So I walk about 33 minutes, 44 minutes, somewhere in there. Okay. Then after my cardio session, sometimes I will have EAAs, which also have BCAAs, which signals the body to keep muscle mass. So that's an important time it will signal my body that I will burn that body fat from cardio, which is, it's not just for heart health, but it's also to promote body fat secretion. You can also stack this with L-carnitine. This is all being recorded, guys, just so you guys know. So I actually do this on literally every day. Okay. So I stack it with carnitine. Sometimes I even stack it with caffeine and creatine. Sometimes those come an hour in between each other, or a different differentiation from each other. So I might do creatine when I get home and caffeine on my way out of the gym, but they're all the same thing. Your body will recognize it. Okay. Then I work out. I train heavy. I lift heavy. I do compound heavy lifting. I always start with calves. I always start with legs. And then I move up because I go vibrations down, train, vibrations up. Okay. Then once I'm home, once I'm out of the gym, I'm doing things that are feeling and mental, and I'm doing things like spirituality and stuff like that, business. So I'm doing those things after my fitness is already accomplished. I get my movement in for the day. So even if I'm sitting still, I know that I've gotten my movement in for the day. There is one thing that I haven't brought to thanks, brother. There is one big thing about this too, is after this workout, I didn't really put it on here, but it's I go to the track. So I actually picked my lady up. You guys can kind of see this on my Snapchat or my stories on Instagram or other different things, because I do like to post on other platforms, multiple platforms. And so what I will generally do is I will actually pick my lady up around 5:30, 5:45, and she'll either be ready or it'll take a few minutes for her to get ready. We'll go to the track. We'll be there by 6 a.m. We're generally the first people there. And then I'll run sprints. I'll run 400s, 800s, 200s, 100s, and in between laps or in between rounds of laps, okay, I'll do push-ups, pull-ups, and burpees, and I will record that too. I will actually record that. And I generally like to do that as often as possible. Like today, I have not done my calisthenics. I will be completely honest, but I know that mentally I'm going to be doing my calisthenics today. So I will do that. And that actually is a very big way. I think it's even greater than training, because it's signaling your body to stay flexed for the majority of the day, which is aesthetics and toning. Aesthetics and toning. That's what really keeps it. Okay. Now, then I will go to the sauna and the steam room. And during that time, I will do breath work, as well as during breath retentions. I won't do this generally in the sauna and steam room. Only a few times have I done it. I will also do my meditations. So I will do, let's say, like 45 breaths, okay, of Wim Hof method, and maybe even add one round of Breath of Fire in there as well. I like to mix both of those, Wim Hof and Breath of Fire, together. And then that will be my breath work in a steam room. That will open up my air passageways, okay? And then I will drop into a breath retention, and that will help me increase my focus, and I'll focus on my vibrational internally. I'll focus on my energy state. I'll focus on goosebumps. I always say I focus on goosebumps, because that's like a good perspective to really teach people, is like, be guided by your goosebumps, be guided by what excites you, which is similar to what Bashar talks about as well. Then I will leave. Sometimes I'll actually still meditate in my car. So before I leave the gym, my car is the first car parked, because I'm the first one at the gym. That's a big thing, because I wake up at 3:30. So like not a lot of people are going to the gym at that time. That's also a big thing. I don't have to wait for, there's so many things that I've studied in this AM ritual that it's not only just for high entrepreneurial people, and I can't say this egoically. I've just found this and I've like, I don't even want to say stumbled upon it, but I was seeking it out. And that's why it helped me. Was I was like, I'm going to actually eradicate the ego, where it's going to be like, my ego wants to sleep in, my ego wants to drink, my ego wants to do this. But is that what needs to be done? There's a difference between what you want to do and what you must do, what you have to do in this life. And so I was like, what do I have to do? Well, I've been sleeping in, that hasn't gotten me anywhere. So maybe if I wake up early, that'll get me somewhere. So that's generally what I did. Checking my trades. Sweet. Oh, it's about to go up. Oh, I'm ready for this. I'm so ready for this. Okay, so that's a big thing too. So I was like, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to wake up early. So that's really what happened. Now I leave the gym. I'll sit in my car, meditate for another 10, 15 minutes until I feel like I get to that good vibe. Then I'll grab coffee. There's literally coffee in the same exact place. So I just grab a Starbucks. They know me. They know that because I'm so consistent. They know that when I show up there, they're like, you want your regular light ice cold brew coffee? Yes. And they're like, yeah, see you up here. So that's a very big thing too. Green juice, I have these little packets in this cupboard right over here. And so what I'll generally do is I will actually pour that packet into my 30, or this is 40 ounces, but my other one's 30. And I'll pour that into that, and then I'll drink that as well. I'm hot and sweaty because I came out of a sauna and all this type of stuff. So I'm very like drenched and disgusting, to be honest. And so I'll come home, I switch on that light, I switch on that light, and I switch on this light. Okay. And now that it's summertime, I don't have to switch on the lights as much, but definitely like when it was like spring and winter time, or it was coming out of that, I loved it because it was like mood lighting. Now it's like mood lighting because it's just the sun's coming up. But then I will also turn on the higher dose mat, which you guys will see a little bit later. And I turn on theta states on the TV. So it's very easy. It's like I walk in, I'm already like setting myself up for failure, or setting myself up for successes. Okay. That's a big thing. Now, as I do this, guys, as I'm setting myself up, I hop into the shower and I do a steaming hot shower, and I continually go back into breath work. So I do breath work for another 3 rounds. And then after that breath work, I do ice cold shower. Okay. Then I'll have an ice cold shower. My higher dose mat will be ready. I'll get out of the shower. I already have my clothes prepared from PM Ritual. Now we're going to start to get into midday in the PM. I have all of my stuff ready from PM Ritual that night before. So the night before, I set my clothes out here. I set my clothes out, my workout clothes out here. I have my towel right here because the wife is sleeping and I'm not going to wake her up. Okay. And she knows generally my whole thing. Jump in the shower. Or if she goes to the track with me, she's already up. So there's that too. There's levels to it. But if she wants to sleep in that day, or she wants to do her AM at like 7 or 8, this was also developed months ago. So we've adapted, and she's kind of gotten onto that AM routine as well with me. Then I'll do my hygiene routine, which we'll get into. I do chanting in the car. So that's kind of another form of meditation. Ice bath, if we can. We actually have an ice bath where I'll go by ice. Today would be a perfect day because technically I have a day off, and, buy some ice. Okay. Then I do a journal. So this is also like my journal down here, which is like checklists and stuff like this. So you guys can see that. Same with my hygiene routine. So that we do running on the track. Okay. Now we go into the saltwater cleanse and we do the supplements. This is all biohacking. And the whole thing about this is each time you hit a check mark, it's a win. So I have already had like 20 wins by the time it's like 8 a.m. And so and I'm not saying like I have like, oh, it's me. It's all about me. It's not about me. It's not about that. I don't want people to ever get that perspective. That's a big thing that I always hear is like you're arrogant, and I feel like that's just a misconception, a misperception of me. Maybe people haven't been around me long enough or something like that, but it's never my intention. Then also the sun rises at that time. I take my dog out. So I'll have her use the restroom. Go to the restroom, all that type of stuff. And then the sun is right at the perfect time where I can stare and sun gaze into it, which you guys know that if I go to the Dejed pillars, eat the frog, which means do the hard things first, okay? Then here's my AM ritual, which I talk about. my AM Ritualistic podcast, okay? Then me actually building and creating the AM ritual, Kaizen, being better, changing for the better every day. Then what? Sun gazing, first thing that you can. First thing of the day, sun gazing. So we'll go back to this. Sun gazing. So I will actually get into sunlight, which is sun gazing, okay? Now we've done supplements, we've done track running, we've done chanting, we've done hygiene, meditation, breath work, lifting, sauna, more breath work, cold shower, maybe potential ice bath. We jump onto the higher dose mat, which is theta states, alpha states, delta states, and a lot of this was free. A lot of this was very close to free too. So that I don't want people to get to that misconception that, oh, well, training and eating healthy is expensive. It's generally not. As a matter of fact, it's generally not. And it's an investment. It's better to start younger. So the younger that you are, and it's better to start now. So it doesn't matter how old you think you are. It matters that you start now because this is the youngest that you will be. I know that sounds weird, but if I think it, I'm not you've heard the thing, you don't get any younger. Like you can make your cells younger by starting now, but you won't ever get like younger based on the age, based on the matrix version of age. Okay. Now I jump out of a cold shower and I don't turn it hot before I get out. I actually keep the coldness because what it does is that is the actual metabolic enhancement, the hormonal metabolic increase in metabolism. Okay. And then I will go and listen to my Shifu. I'll listen to my Shifu, which is Shi Hung Yi, Shifu Shi Hung Yi. Okay. And he's a warrior monk. You guys might have even seen him on YouTube. And I go through the different courses and all this type of stuff. And I do my Tai Chi Gong or Kung Fu. It's slow Kung Fu. That's what Tai Chi Gong is. Tai Chi and Qigong. So I just mix it together. Tai Chi and Qigong and then Kung Fu. Okay. I do facial structure stuff. So I'll do my jaw toner. So I'll be like, like what Andrew Huberman talked about. So I've gotten into all these different types of AM rituals. Okay. I've also done the power hour of Tony Robbins. That's a big one too. Power hour. So facial structure, I'll do like that ice roller, the rose quartz ice roller. That's a big thing. I'll do some yoga. So a lot of this stuff is like 10 minutes. I don't have to do like 2 hours because I'm doing it every day for my life. Okay. So if I do 10 minutes of yoga, it's better than not doing any yoga at all. Okay. And I know some of the postures that help me. I've already enhanced my flexibility. Right now I'm focused on splits training. So focusing on getting the splits. Okay. Then eventually I'm also going to work on muscle to fiber techniques for martial arts, which is like flipping. I also do sword fighting. So that's a big thing too, like where I actually wield 2 swords. So that's a big thing as well. Let's talk about it. Now it's yoga training, Tai Chi Gong. That's a big thing. Done the higher dose mat, did martial arts. So that's a big thing. So like different forms of martial arts. And that heats my body back up from the cold shower or the ice bath, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get some Qigong. You're supposed to move. So then the energy starts to cultivate and you start to heat your body naturally back up. Okay. Now, these are the 3 things that I will do. Sometimes I check trades while I'm doing cardio, but then I will check trades again, mentioning that. Let's actually check trades. Oh yeah, the market's closed for an hour. Got it. Okay. So then it's study time. So it's study time, journaling, highlighting. So let me grab a book and then I'm going to kind of show you exactly what I do. Here. Okay. So one of my favorite books, Unbeatable Mind. What I will do is I will actually go through and I'll highlight different portions of the book. Let's go to like a very heavily highlighted page so you can see it. There we go. So you'll see I'll highlight in, and that's how I read. It actually helps you retain more. There's like scientific proof on it that if you read and then you highlight different things, and you highlight the parts that really stand out to you, that's a big thing. Then I have an app on my phone, which it's called Cam Scanner. I will take a picture of certain pages. It'll scan the page and then that will upload to your photos. Then what I will generally do, this is connected to social media now, where you start to get into the highlights, you start to get into producing, you start to get into content creation, all this type of stuff. And you can even build automations for this, which is exactly what I'm studying right here. Okay. But ultimately, I will build an automation, or I'll write things, okay, and I'll send it and I'll schedule it for future posts. So the post that I write today is for 5 days from now, and the post that's posting today was from 5 days ago. So that's a big thing too, or 10 days ago or whatever. And I generally like to stay ahead. So that's what I do for videos. That's what I do for content. That's what I do for posts. That's what I do for all this stuff. And that helps me stay ahead. Okay, so read, highlight, and then some of these like specific quotes. So let's kind of find a good quote. Your energy will burn out if you become more brittle and inflexible in thought and body. So then you can even reword that, and you could say your energy will continuously increase as you become more flexible and open in thought and body. Boom. Quote. Send that, put that onto, like, I'll build my own type of post, my quote post. If you guys are on my Instagram, you guys can see that. You can see those quotes that pop up. And then I build a bunch of quotes. I'll do stoicism, I'll do martial art quotes, I'll do motivational speaking quotes, entrepreneurial quotes, spirituality posts, fitness posts, all that type of stuff. All of them are quotes, and I do that every other day. Okay, so people know that. And I'll highlight specific things, all this type of stuff. And then part of my journal is actually building the caption. So the caption is my journal for the day. And sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 of those captions, and then that will be my journal for the day. And it'll be like, I'll actually really go through it. I won't have an AI do it for me, or a ChatGPT do it for me, or anything like that. I'll actually like really say what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what, my intention is. And I will really put out with the best word etymology that I possibly can, and do that. So now let's jump straight into, here's another thing too. I'll do my hygiene. This is the day until I launch. So this is another day until I launch. Okay. So I'll do my hygiene. I set this up. Okay. Then stacking wins. Did I wake up right away? Did I meditate? Did I visualize? Did I hydrate? 33 ounces of water first? Yep. Hit my macros. Did I supplement? Did I smash my workout? Am I ready for business? Am I focused? Am I rejecting vices? Am I able to reject vices? Boom. Yes. Then I already have some of these preset. This replenishes. So then I just fill it in. I'm happy and grateful now because I learned that from Bob Proctor. I'm happy and grateful now because fill it in. Quote of the day, fill it in. That could also be a post. Stoic quote of the day. Boom, fill it in. That could also be a post. Word of the day. That could be a caption-based type of thing. Workout of the day. That is something that I did today. Okay. Book of the day. Unbeatable Mind. Okay. Then you can keep going. I'm grateful for my wife. I love being grateful for this because she holds me accountable. She makes me better. She makes me a better man. You can, however you feel like you want to do it. This is a daily thing. So it's Kaizen. It's just 1% improvement. What can I choose to be grateful for today? Not what can I want something today? It's like, what can I be grateful for today? I'm grateful because I have these automations. I'm grateful that I've stuck it out this long. I'm grateful that I'm disciplined. I'm grateful that I'm motivated. I'm grateful that I'm happy. I'm grateful that I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I get to be grateful today. Okay. What good can be done today? Okay. Now write out what are some good things I can do? I could post an online thing to help people. I can help people simplify their lives. I can help people automate their lives. I can help people build themselves. What discipline can I strengthen? Fortitude, mental attitude, positive mental attitude, disciplines, getting up early, strengthening your body, strengthening your mind, strengthening your soul. My intentions today, and then you can write down 5 different things that you really want to do. Now, this is one of my systems that I always keep. So that's a big thing. If you guys can understand that, you can read that. Okay. 5 daily videos, TikTok. So I'll generally record 5 daily videos. I'll make a list of those 5 videos. 3 of those videos I'll do shorts. So like they're 10 minutes or less for TikToks, and that'll be a whole content creation. I'll do 1 to 2 podcasts depending on how often I drive that day, because I do podcasts in the car. Why? Because 80% of podcasts are consumed in the car. And why would you not do a podcast in the car and make someone feel like they're at home, like you're driving with them or they're driving with you? Boom, right there. You can cultivate this, okay? Then here's a big thing too. Assumptions. I can write 5 daily assumptions. So law of assumption, you could write different assumptions that you like to write. So I have an unbeatable mind. I'm grateful that I have an unbeatable mind. You start to assume realities. If you were to do these 5 things, the whole day would be a success. And you could write these as assumptive, meaning like, I'm great. You already do it as it's done. So I'm grateful I made $5,000 trading today. I'm grateful I made $2,400 trading today. I'm grateful that I accomplished 3 workouts today. I'm grateful that I was able to quit my job today and start my business. I'm grateful, and start my business full time, be in my conscious business full time. You can do that. Okay. Then there's the next point where release journal. I choose to release narcissism. I choose to release spiritual ego. I choose to release pain and pleasure. I choose to release, negative things that were traumatizing me when I was a kid. Boom. Fill all those different types of things and you can do that. Okay. Then you script. And this is also part of a journal too. So you write as your highest self. You write as the highest version of yourself. How are you being? How are you living? How, being as if, becoming as if. You write it in continuous present tense. You write it with positive word etymology and word articulation. You write as the best version of yourself as it is happening. Not it will happen or it has happened, but it is happening and it will continue to happen because there's a specific way. It's continuous presence in English or in whatever. And I also say, do your affirmations in Latin. Just trust me, do your affirmations in Latin. Okay. As if it is happening and fulfilled already in the present moment now. So it's fulfilling itself. It's happening. It's fulfilling itself already in the now. That's a big thing. So that's my AM journal. Now let's move into the midday. This one's a little bit easier. I'm just going to go to YouTube. Actually, let's go to YouTube. So here's a big thing that I always say. I have this big thing that I want to show you. So I have a update where it's called DF2, distraction-free YouTube. So I'll click this and I'll activate this and it'll actually help me with when I'm in semen retention, which I am right now. So I have not released and I don't plan on it and I'm not going to. Here's a big thing too, is doing yoga, meditation, and breath work. That's a big thing. But now that will disable distractions and it will help me stay more focused. I'm going to kind of exit out of this meeting chat, or actually, you know what? I'll put it in the corner down here. That's perfect. Okay. I'll have it as distraction for YouTube. So now you guys can see that there's no distractions. See, if I turn it on, deactivate, you can see it. Then I activate it, you can't see it. So it's way better than to see all those colors, all those words, all these people like all that type of shit. You just don't want to see that. You just don't want to see it. And a lot of times the algorithms are set up that way. I wish it was for every type of thing. A lot of the things I do on YouTube and Facebook and everything is I actually disable. So like on Facebook and Instagram, I disable stories and I don't like to always be there, or I only keep certain stories for certain people. Because most people are doing negligent things. I'm going to be completely honest. Most of them are drinking, vaping, and smoking their lives away, or living toxic habits. And I have no problem. I was there. I was a drug addict. I was polygamous. I was freaking doing everything under the sun. And the whole thing about that is at least I could be transparent enough and open enough to be like, look, I've been there and I'm not going there and I'm choosing not to do that because this is the way. This is the way, as the Mandalorian says, this is the way. Okay. And it doesn't matter how far you go. It matters how far you've come. Doesn't matter how far you've gone away, but it matters how far you've come here. Okay. So then, let's talk about it. Midday. Oh, got you. Midday ritualistic discipline. So I'll go to my playlists and see, you can see this AM ritualistic discipline. It's the first one, 123 videos, 1, 2, 3. Like we're building our lives up. Okay. Midday ritualistic discipline is right here. Okay. Here's my master Shi Hung Yi. So this is all just proof of what I was kind of talking about. Okay. Then I have trader affirmation. Let's check. Let's check on my trades. I think it's going to be a good day. I see it as a good day. I'm going to make like $3,000, $2,400, something like that. Then I have the PM, see, and then here's AM Qigong and Tai Chi. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here's my PM ritualistic discipline, language learning, monk mode. You know, like you can just see Shifo Shi Hung Yi. So I have that too as well. So let's go to the midday, which is exactly what we're talking about. Oh, I'm not going to play that. My bad. We're going to go back. We're going to just click it. Why does it play it? I don't want to play. Okay. But anyways, I have different videos on here, which I do like. I do like athletic greens, by the way. If you guys see, you know, the AG1 right here, athletic greens is a great version of getting your green juice in the morning. Okay. I also like Shakeology. I like Organifi. There's so many different good greens that you can do. So let's kind of go right here. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of these different videos, but 280 videos, stoic lesson. So what I generally do is I go to work on here and then I have my TV right there, or I have my phone, or both. And I will actually click the playlist midday ritualistic disciplines. Okay. It's the things that I want to study subconsciously, consciously. I hear it in the background. It's going on around me all the time. This is good for the subconscious mind. So the mindset of a winner, how to grow your business, content strategies, building an audience, reverse engineering perfect businesses, activating your spirituality. You do all this type of stuff. You build playlists, all this type of stuff. Okay. If you guys want this Greg, if you want this playlist, you just let me know, bro. So I'll send this out and I'll put this on my TV and then I'll work. So I'll work on school. I'll work on my business. I'll work on trading. I'll do all three. So that is my work day. That's what I listen to. And people listen to music, toxic music, other type of shit like that. I'll listen to positive music. I'll listen to some reggae music and I'll play some of this. So that's a big thing. And it really teaches me also, like, what are some of the content people that I'm generally doing this with. I don't ever like to say competing, because I feel like that's like the 3D, the third dimensional, or the third density aspect. But it's like, how am I co-creating with these people to help awaken the collective? That's the way that I look at it. How am I co-creating with these people to enhance and build up the collective Christ consciousness? So that's a big thing. Listen to Andrew Huberman. I listen to, you know, Quasi, Aaron Dowdy, you know, all these different types of people. Bashar. I listen to a lot of Bashar. Now that's my midday, super easy. So now we're going to move into PM. PM's also relatively easy, but it's very important to set your PM ritualistic discipline up the right way. So first thing is generally I'll come home, because sometimes I'm out. I'll come home, and what I will do is I will set up my workout clothes. So I'll set up my workout clothes. I'll make sure my AirPods are charging. I'll turn the lights down low. Okay. Some people even do red light at night. They'll do red light therapy at night, which they'll actually change the bulbs of each of these lights. I think that's a little extra for me. I'll just turn it off. What I generally like to do is set candles out instead. So my lady loves candles. I love candles. And then you can also get essential oil candles, or you can make your own smelling candles. Like, you can do so many different types of things like this. And that's what I like to do. You can sage. There is something called the PM ritualistic discipline on my Dejed's Pillars course as well. So on there, I talk about something which I'm not going to really talk about here, but I'm just giving you guys the overview, which is, it's called the evening. It's called the evening out. So it means just like some of the negative stuff that you've heard throughout the day, you start to transmute it through talking to yourself, talking to yourself, or seeing what your belief systems and your perspectives are on the grand scheme of the day. One big thing that I also do with the law of assumption is I go through the reframing and the revision technique when I'm falling asleep. Okay. Also, during the evening period times, I turn on Hertz frequencies, theta states, 963 Hertz frequencies. I'll do that, turn the lights down low. I'll enjoy I'll enjoy time with my wife. So, kiss her, love her, all this type of stuff. We'll also have conversation around that time. We'll eat dinner around that time, which is generally a healthy meal. I'll set up my clothes out here. I put my towel, I put my clothes in there, like my work clothes or my daily clothes like this. I like to always dress up. I always dress up because the way that you feel is the way that you are. And when I feel good about what I'm wearing, it helps me enhance my life a little bit better. Then I also put frequencies on in the bedroom. I put frequencies on out here. We generally will watch like a show. Right now we're watching The Flash, which is all about parallel realities and parallel jumping, which is exactly what I talk about. And a lot of the stuff I can already foresee what they're talking about because I understand the concepts of reality. And so it's a really cool thing that we talk about a lot. I drink water throughout the day. I will generally do my midday ritualistic discipline as early and as late as possible. So if some days, guys, some days I will literally have my midday ritualistic discipline starting at 8 a.m. And then I will have it sometimes even going to 8 p.m. Okay. And that might seem like a lot of time for people, but sitting is a little bit different. And obviously I'll get up throughout the day. I'll do some pump training. I might take a nap, which is also enhancing theta states, which is polyphasic sleeping, stuff like that. But for the most part, the midday ritualistic discipline is just like subconscious and listening into the background. Sometimes I'm actually focused on it, but I'll just listen to that playlist and I add stuff to the playlist all the time, guys. Okay. Next thing is PM ritualistic discipline. I'll do breath work. I'll do meditations before I go to bed, set the lights up. I mean, we can even go through it on here too, guys. So, and you'll realize they're all the same thing. And sometimes I don't even go on here, to be honest. I don't go on here as much as I probably should for my PM because I kind of already know my PM. My PM is really easy. And we'll even do a day of like where I explain Notion. So if you Notion is $5.99 a month, and it gives me more than $5.99 in value and in structure and in automations and in systems. And okay, so here's a big thing. I kind of do this throughout the day. Dark mode. So that's the same thing with like, I'll go in dark mode where, you know how you have like light mode and dark mode in your phone? You turn on dark mode because it's better for your eyes. You don't want to consume a lot of blue light. So I'll change to dark mode. I'll change to like, I'll put like a lot of saturation and stuff. I'll do breath work, focusing on my exhale because the exhale is the spiritual. It's the akashics. It's the astral projection. It's all that type of stuff, which is based in the exhale. Okay. Check tomorrow's schedule. So I'll see what calls do I have tomorrow? What type of videos am I doing tomorrow? Because they're already structured. I set them up a day ahead. I'm a week ahead always. So this week is for next week. And then next week will be for the following week. Okay. And last week is for this week. So what I prepared last week is for this week. And that's where you really have to get. So if you're just starting out, here's the lesson. Do 2 weeks and then you're already ahead. So you build 2 weeks ahead of time. So this week, if you were to just start this week, you're like, I don't have a schedule. I don't have a calendar. You do 2 weeks in advance. It's just like for like, when you're doing rent, it's like, oh, well, you have to prepare for your first and last month's rent. Okay. It's just like that. It's just like, well, I'm doing my first and my last month. That's the big thing that what you do. Okay. I'll do hot water and tea. That's also a big one that me and my lady do. I forget sometimes we want to do that, but sometimes I forget to say that one. Hot water, tea, hot water, honey, and lemon. So that's a big thing. We also have like a bunch of biohacking things. So I have like a hot chocolate that is like really, really good. And I have like 100% pure cacao. So it's like ceremonial cacao that I'll build with that. Light candles, do meditation, get off my phone, check my macros. Sometimes I'll do a PM journal entry, make sure all my bags are packed. I'll set all of my alarms. A lot of this stuff is already automated. My alarms I just keep them set all week. So that's easy. My clothes are pretty much the thing I do. Affirmations, that's easy. I do that. I go to bed listening to that. Same with the Hertz frequencies. I drink hot tea, do a hot shower if I have to. Everything's on do not disturb. Really easy. See, guys, and then before the sun sets, I go into sunset gazing. I'll go into sunset gazing. So guys, that is pretty much it. I'm going to go back to stop share. All right, perfect. So that's pretty much it, guys. That is my AM, my midday, and my PM ritualistic discipline. Now, right here where there is nothing, I have like 3 minutes that I'm going to talk about the 24-hour day. So I've already done this video on Instagram, but a lot of people are like, I want to be here in 5 years. I want to be here in 8 years. I want to be here in 10 years. I want to be here in 20 years. I want to be here. You got a lot of people are super projective into the future. And I say that that is awesome. I think that is so awesome. Good for you. I'm glad that you know where you want to be. Now, what I teach is reverse engineering. Okay. My grandfather was an engineer, and I feel like I'm a reverse engineer in a positive way. And what do I mean? I mean that you say, okay, I want to be here. So my example always is in 10 years, I want to be a master martial artist. I want to be able to be like, you know, da 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 da. Once you get a black belt, that's when you start. That's what people don't get. When you have a black belt, that's when you start. So here's a big thing. To be a master martial artist, let's say I get to the 3rd black belt and I've started my life. Okay. So I'm a master martial artist. Now I can finally figure out what my technique, what I want to do, how I want to cultivate my chi, how I want to cultivate my technique, all this type of stuff. Okay. Here's the thing. I will reverse engineer that. So that 10-year, then there's a 5-year goal. Obviously, I have to be at least halfway there from my 10-year goal, right? Okay. If you base on simple math, then there has to be a 2.5-year goal. So a quarterly decade goal, a quarter of a decade. Okay. Then there is the 1.25. Then there's the half of the quarterly decade goal. So every year and a quarter. Okay. Then you can even go into like a year, or you can just break that down into what do I do per year to get there every quarterly decade goal. Okay. Then you could break that down into 6 months. Then you could break that down into seasons or quarters per year, quarters of a year. Then you could break that down into months, or you could, you could break that down into 12 months. Then you can break that down into 52 weeks of those 12 months. Then you could break that down into 24-hour days of those 52 weeks of those 12 months of that 1 year, of times that by 2.5. That's your quarterly decade year. Then you multiply that by 2. That's your half a decade. Okay. So you should be halfway there. And then you will reverse engineer and create what you're supposed to do in that 24-hour day, which is exactly what I'm doing in this 24-hour day. You wonder why people are like decades ahead of you real quick. It's either they generally exponentially started before you, or they started before you and then grew exponentially. That's a big thing. Compound interesting their interests. So they weren't doing things that other people designed for them, but they did things that were designed for them. That's a big thing too, is like, are you in the right purpose? Are you in the right sector? Are you in the right niche? Are you in the right purpose for your life? Or are you in someone's purpose that someone else has given you? Like I said, guys, just like the Steve Jobs quote, the only way to do great work is to do what you love. Okay. Your time is limited. Do not waste your life living someone else's life. Do not waste your own life living someone else's life, and even someone else's life for you. Okay. Now, to conclude this, guys, I would generally write down your 5 years and your 10-year goals. And some of that is marriage. Some of that is kids. Some of you guys might even already have kids or already have a marriage. Some of it might be like, to be lean at my age, for that age bracket. Like if I'm 40, I still want to have abs. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm 50, I still want to have abs. I still want to have some arms. So the whole thing is like, how do I set that up? Well, if I just train like the way I'm training and I don't get off, it's mostly consistency. So, I can be consistent. Okay. I just would have to do it consistently. I would just have to say no to inconsistency. Then there's you say yes to things, you're saying no to something else. When you say no to things, you're saying yes to something else. So that's a big thing too, is like, are you saying the right yeses to the right yeses? And are you saying the no's to the right no's? Or are you saying no's to the things that you're saying yes? Or yeah, are you saying no's to the things that you should be saying yes to? Or are you saying yes to the things that you should be saying no to? You guys get the point. Are you saying yes to drugs? Are you saying yes to vaping? Are you saying yes to drinking? Are you saying yes to sleeping in? Are you saying yes to toxic people? Are you saying yes to not going to the gym consistently, to not building a schedule, to not building an organization, to not drinking your water, to not reading, to not journaling? Like, there's so many things that we already know are good for us. And are you saying no to those things that you already know are good for you? You know that fasting is good for you. You know that eating healthy is good for you. You know that being a good person is good for you. For you. So don't put that off because somebody else wants you to fit in with them, or you feel like you might want to fit in with other people, whatever. Just be who you are, and the right people will be around you. I always say reverse engineer your life and really, and then live in the end. Then live in the end. So you reverse engineer your life, then you live in the end. So lastly, you would live in this point of view. So you would start to be living as, I'm already a master martial artist. I've already done one kick 10,000 times. I've already done one punch 10,000 times. I've already done one page of reading 10,000 times. I've mastered that page. I've mastered that person. I've mastered this being. I've mastered that version of breath work. I mastered, you get what I'm saying? And then you can also cultivate that with law of assumption, which is living in the end and starting to assume, okay, so if I just live here, these things are going to quicken based on the Doppler effect, based on electromagnetism, based on frequency. And I'm going to actually gravitate towards that parallel reality, transurfing, jumping quicker than most people. And it's not even about most people, quicker than most versions of yourself is what I'm really saying. You have to think of yourself as an infinite being, Like there's an infinite amount of yous, like a council of Ricks or a council of Wells in the Flash. There's a council of Wells, which is the same thing. There's a council of Gregs. There's a council of TCs. Okay. There's a council of spiritual shepherds. All right. And some of them are good. Some of them are bad. Some of them are middle or neutral. Okay. And as you start to build and live in the end as a specific spiritual shepherd, then in that point of view, all these other spiritual shepherds fall into line to this spiritual shepherd. And then that's when you quantum leap as fast as possible. And all these people say, yeah, this is who I am. All right, guys, peace, much love. Namaste. See you guys next week on Tuesday. I'm super grateful that you guys chimed into this one. This will be uploaded in the next few minutes. So I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. See you later, Greg. If you have any questions, bro, you just let me know.